Stop scrolling, because what you're about to hear is the story of a titan who defied the gods, stole fire from Olympus, and paid the ultimate price. In the early days of the world, there was no fire, no warmth, no light. The gods kept it hidden from mankind, believing that without fire, humans would stay weak, dependent, and controllable. But one titan, Prometheus, couldn't stand to see mankind suffer. He loved humanity deeply and saw potential in them. So, he decided to do the impossible. Prometheus stole the fire from the gods, and in doing so, he gave it to humanity, igniting a spark that would set the course of civilization. But what he didn't realize was that his gift would come at an unimaginable cost. Zeus, the king of the gods, was furious, and the punishment for Prometheus would be severe. The price of knowledge, it seemed, would be eternity itself. Prometheus, the titan of foresight, was one of the oldest and wisest beings in the universe. Unlike many of his fellow titans, he wasn't content with just the power and riches of the heavens. He cared deeply for mankind, a creation that Zeus and the other gods had little regard for. At the time, humans lived in a dark, cold world, vulnerable to the elements, with no way to cook food, keep warm, or defend themselves. They were primitive and powerless, and the gods watched from Olympus, indifferent to their struggles. In the grand halls of Olympus, the gods had kept fire hidden away, believing that its power would allow humans to rise up and challenge the divine order. Fire was seen as the essence of life and knowledge, something too dangerous for mere mortals. But Prometheus couldn't stand to watch humanity suffer any longer. He knew that fire was not just a gift, it was the key to humanity's survival and progress. So, driven by love and a deep sense of responsibility, Prometheus made a bold and dangerous decision. He would steal fire from the gods and give it to mankind. He waited for the perfect moment. Using his cunning and wisdom, he sneaked into the halls of the gods where the divine fire was stored. With swift hands, he took a flame from the sacred hearth, hiding it in a hollowed fennel stalk, a plant that was both humble and discreet. He then descended to Earth, carrying the flame back to the human world. When Prometheus gave the fire to humanity, it was nothing short of revolutionary. For the first time, humans could cook their food, warm their homes, craft tools, and defend themselves. They began to build civilizations, using fire to forge metal, create art, and push the boundaries of their knowledge. It was a moment of great empowerment for mankind, thanks to Prometheus's bold defiance against the gods. But the gods, particularly Zeus, did not take kindly to Prometheus' act of rebellion. Zeus was enraged that Prometheus had defied the divine order, and his anger was swift and unforgiving. Zeus could not allow a mortal act of defiance to go unpunished, especially not one that threatened the balance of power between gods and men. As punishment, Zeus sentenced Prometheus to an unimaginable fate. He had him chained to a rock on the peak of Mount Caucasus, far away from the reach of any help. And here, the true cruelty of his punishment began. Every day, an enormous eagle or vulture, depending on the version of the myth, would come and tear out Prometheus's liver, the organ that was considered to be the seat of human vitality and soul. Since Prometheus was immortal, his liver would regenerate every night, only to be eaten again the next day. This eternal cycle of torment became a symbol of unrelenting punishment. In some versions of the myth, Prometheus's punishment was compounded by the fact that he could never die. He was forced to endure his suffering forever, unable to escape or find relief. The sky above him remained endless and cold, his body chained in place while the eagle feasted daily on his liver. His only crime was loving humanity and giving them a chance to survive. But Prometheus's suffering was not without hope. While he was chained, Hercules, the great hero, passed through the lands of the Caucasus on his way to perform one of his 12 labors.
He gave humanity
Heracles, hearing of Prometheus's torment, took pity on the Titan. With great strength and courage, he killed the eagle and broke Prometheus's chains, freeing him from his eternal punishment. However, Zeus did not forgive Prometheus. Even though he was freed from his torment, Prometheus was still bound to the god's will, and he would forever bear the scars of his defiance. The myth of Prometheus is both a story of sacrifice and of the price of knowledge. Prometheus gave humanity fire, but in doing so, he paid with eternal suffering. His gift to mankind was not just a simple act of charity. It was a moment of defiance, a challenge to the gods that came with immense cost. Yet, Prometheus' story also represents the cost of progress, that sometimes, in order to move forward and gain knowledge, we must face challenges that test our very soul. Prometheus remains a symbol of rebellion, sacrifice, and the pursuit of knowledge, a figure who gave humanity the fire of progress, but paid the ultimate price for it. His story serves as a reminder of the sacrifices made for the greater good and the unrelenting cost of defying those who hold power. Through the myth of Prometheus, we also understand the relationship between the gods and humans, and how, in the end, the pursuit of knowledge and empowerment can come with profound consequences. Despite the pain and suffering Prometheus endured, his gift to mankind was a turning point in human history, marking the beginning of civilization and the understanding that sometimes the greatest gifts come at the highest cost. And so, Prometheus's punishment became a legend, a symbol of sacrifice and defiance. He gave humanity the greatest gift, the ability to shape their own future through the power of fire. But in doing so, he endured an eternity of suffering, alone, chained to a rock, his liver torn apart day after day by the eagle sent by Zeus. Yet even in the face of endless torment, Prometheus never wavered in his love for mankind. His story is a stark reminder of the price of knowledge, of the courage it takes to defy those in power for the greater good, and the sacrifices that often come with progress. His eternal punishment, though harsh, sparked the flame of civilization that still burns brightly today. Prometheus was freed, but the story of his defiance still echoes. His gift to humanity was not just the fire, but the spirit of rebellion, the desire for growth, and the belief that knowledge is worth any price. And that, perhaps, is the greatest legacy of all, one that we carry with us every day as we continue to push the boundaries of what we know, no matter the cost.